G'day traders, welcome to wrap up of Monday the 25th of June. So daily charts here, and what happened is we opened up Monday pretty much where we left on Friday, so there wasn't much of a gap in the market. What's been happening the last few weeks is the market's been really gapping, especially to the upside. It's kind of been putting these markets into a bit of a spin. So we left exactly where, or started, exactly where we left on Friday, and then even the pre-market leading up till today, was fairly flat. It wasn't a lot of aggression or anything like that. So we're still sitting around this 1330 area. At the moment, you can see the market's really hovering around it. Now there's no real strong support or resistance area at the moment. It's kind of all meshed into a little bit of one as the market hangs around this area. So I thought it was definitely possible to have buyers and sellers. Certainly not looking like it's going to be one directional day or anything like that. Just have a look at this 5-minute chart so you can see the morning basically we pushed down, and then we had some buyers come in the afternoon. So very much a two-sided market. Sellers certainly dominated, and to start off with, they pushed down. There was no sorting themselves out at the start. It just headed straight down and straight through this first power point. It pulled back to basically back within the this starting range or this starting area, and then off it went again. So quite solid sellers there, an indication that you'd probably get sellers through most of the morning, and it's going to be a morning to start looking for selling opportunities until the market starts to tell you otherwise and start forming holding patterns on the upside. So coming down here, this first sort of retracement area here, tough to take advantage of just because the market's still kind of confirming the direction. Once it started pushing down, that's your confirmation. We've got a shallow pullback here, so you can see it's formed the low point here, come back, had a go at a second time, come back a third time. We've found with this sort of area, if it has a go at the lows or highs 3 times like that, and as long as they contain the pullbacks or the retracements, so this one here we've gone down, popped up, but each time it's popped up, it's contained itself. The sellers are controlling the market. The third test is likely to go, and over the last couple of weeks I've seen that happen many times. So just an interesting area. The market sitting at its lows and eventually it pushed through. From there, after making new lows, it's popped back here. And again, this area where it's retraced back, all the other markets were holding the downside. Then all of a sudden you've got the market pushing down and confirming that it wants to go and have a look at these lows again. So the area is well and truly 2 points away from that low. So definitely one of those areas that high chance of going to lows or maybe even further. So this particular area went about 5-6 ticks. Then it started to turn around. As soon as it starts applying pressure back to this upside here, watching the other markets, they're all starting to really push through as well. And once it starts getting through this area here, it's a real change in pressure, because all of a sudden, talking before about, on the sell side, you want to see the sellers holding and not letting the buyers kind of take control and break through any sort of high level. So as soon as it starts to break through like this, that's a significant pressure point, and all of a sudden it really switches to a bit of a buying area. And from there you can see it's got quite a significant push up. It's gone up about 3 points from there. From this area here, we've got some sort of 5-minute fade set up. So there's a couple of ways to look at this. I think when the market first pushes up like this, then it comes back to this area where it broke from, this is a high chance of getting a continuation. Then up here as well, it's it's a later pullback. It's a little bit of a second pullback, but it's still got an area, definitely high chance of pushing through. From here, it's just gone again about 6 ticks, and then it's turned around and started applying some pressure back down to where it originally started launching itself from. Then all of a sudden, this quite significant area where it's kind of launched from is coming back into play, and it's pushed through it. So I definitely see this as quite a strong area, that the market's going to react to. And then again, once the market starts popping through it, that's confirmation that buyers coming back. They've got the power to push through that level. Actual 5-minute buyer came into this candle here, which is right up near this swing high. So it's an area that's very likely to work. However, there is going to be some backlash as it tries to break through this area. So it's likely to get a bit of a retracement or pullback before heading and trying to push higher. I think as soon as it starts breaking that 1306 level, that's certainly an area to look at, and then away it goes from there. And then to finish off the day, just it's popped back again, and then the cash market has ended. So to show you on the 1 minute chart, so here we go, we're pushing straight through this power point. Hard to, first power point of the day, very hard to judge. If you get a bit of a sideways range and then some swing low or swing high points for the market to gauge itself on, and you've got other markets breaking, you can look at these first or second power fades. They're quite probable, but ones where it just goes straight to it, very difficult to say whether it's going to keep going or get a bit of a bounce off it. So not high probable areas of being able to judge whether it's going to work or not, unless you've got a little bit of a sideways movement or a change in direction very early on in the day. From there, you can see we popped up, hit this power point, and it's bounced really quite strongly off that, and that's kind of given the sellers the power, and from there they've really started to push lower. So you can see it's pushing lower here, and we got through this bit of a sideways period through the middle session. Then eventually it's popped down. So it's hard to take advantage of anything through here, waiting for the market to come back, and then either show signs it wants to head back up, or confirm the original downtrend and look for something to sell and get a continuation of this trend. So this is what happened. It started holding some retracements here, and then this is the areas where we start looking for potential sells. Then it's all changed quite quickly. And this is what happens in the markets. It will go from some sort of selling pressure to buying pressure, quite often with the flick of a switch. All of a sudden, where it's coming down here and it's got the potential to push through these lows and go, it starts turning around. As soon as it breaks up through this bit of a area here, it gives some power back to the buyer's side. And then from there, this is where the buyers really took control. Basically, they kept on making higher highs and higher lows, and you can see that's continued through the rest of the afternoon. So that's a wrap up for Monday. We'll speak to you guys Tuesday.